Welcome back to the Real Power Podcast. Another awesome guest in the studio today. I'm excited for this one. I was just telling him this will be an episode that I think a lot of younger entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs who know that they can achieve financial freedom, but they don't know exactly the path they want to take. Kelan, across from me today, has a very inspiring story and a really great business that himself and his wife have started and grown. I'll give you a quick background on him. Kelan Kline is the co-founder of The Savvy Couple, a personal finance blog and brand that helps families take control of their money and create a life they love. A former law enforcement officer turned online entrepreneur, Kelan and his wife Brittany have grown their business into a 7-figure brand, sharing practical tips on budgeting, saving, and side hustles. With a focus on financial freedom and family, Kelan is passionate about helping others break free from the 9-to-5 and build the life they've always wanted. Couldn't be more excited for the gold nuggets that will probably come out of this episode. So without further ado, Kelan, thank you for being here, man.
Absolutely. Pumped to be here.
Take us back to the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey. I know you said it's going on 8 years now that you've been an entrepreneur. Where does the story begin for you?
I like going way back because I feel like there's a moment in everyone's life that's like eye-opening, especially jumping into the entrepreneur world. And that happened for me when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
We had a pair of tennis shoes my dad didn't want anymore. I was 13 at the time. We sold them on eBay, and I helped kind of list it and get the money into the account. And it was kind of eye-opening of like, holy cow, you can make money like selling things online and
on
like
the internet.
Money gets into your account. Like, this is wild.
Yeah.
So that was my first initiation into making money online, and I was kind of like addicted to it.
Got hooked.
Got hooked. Had a couple normal jobs growing up, but I was always into, drop shipping on Amazon, eBay, selling things around the house, even stuff I probably shouldn't have sold, and my parents don't know where they are. And that kind of got my jump into entrepreneurial life. And then at around 15 years old, I went on a ride along with the Monroe County Sheriff, and I was like, this is sweet. I have ADHD. I love adrenaline rushes and just the risk of it and driving fast, taking chances. And so from there on out, I was like, that was my goal, become a law enforcement officer, become a police officer. Fast forward, met my wife at 14 years old, and we dated all through high school, went to college together. We both got degrees. I got a degree in business and finance. My wife got a teaching degree, and then we basically got into the career fields, and I started selling life insurance that lasted, you said your first job lasted like 6 months. Mine lasted 2 weeks. I made my first cold call, and I was like, this is not for me. And I walked out. And then I did UPS salesman. I was a driver. I worked as an office manager, and then jail deputy. So I got hired into law enforcement thinking this is it. Like, this is a good stepping stone to get to road patrol. It's gonna be amazing. The academy was amazing. Like, you got paid to learn how to shoot guns and run around and tackle each other and defensive tactics. And then got into the job, and about a year in, I just started to like see the writing on the wall where never got to see my wife. She was teaching, and I was working nights and 3 to 11. So like our shifts, we'd basically say hi on the way in and way out of the house. And then I just fell into like a really deep, dark depression of like, this is what I want to do since I was 15 years old. And now I feel like my world's crumbling around me. Like, it's not what I want. And I was so lost and confused and just struggling. We had tons of student loan debt. We just bought a house together. My wife at the time, it was really hard to find a teaching job in New York. So she basically was subbing, and I was the sole breadwinner by far. And there's a lot of weight on my shoulders with all that going on. And I felt like every day going into work was just like a struggle because I was depressed, and I'd never dealt with depression before. Long story short, God saved me and kind of said, hey, your life is not meant to be in law enforcement.
Meant for more,
and you have so much more to give, and you have so many talents, and you're not using them. And you were stubborn, and you wanted to do this when there's writing on the wall all along to like be an entrepreneur. My wife and I were like, we sat down at the table and we said, we got to change something. This isn't going to work. We want to have a family. We have 2 beautiful daughters now. And at the time we had no kids, and we were like, I can't do 9-to-5s anymore. I hate when someone else tells me what to do, how much I can earn. There's a couple moments in that job that really made me say, I'm out of here. One of them was I went into the sergeant's office to ask for time off for vacation. We had 2 vacations planned already. I put in 3 weeks of vacation. And they said, we can only give you a day. And I was like, 1 day out of the 3 weeks that I requested. So I like left the office, and I was like shaking. I was so upset because we already planned the vacation and everything. So that was one of the moments. And then just like forced overtime, you do a shift, and you'd get called at like 8 a.m. right before you're about to leave. And they'd be like, hey, we need you to stay for another 4 to 8 hours. And you couldn't really say no because they're short staffed. So those 2 moments were like, I need to be in control of my life. So we sat down at the table and we said, what can we do in order for me to like start my own business and really go all in on this and give it a shot. So I went back to school again and got trained to be a home inspector, got all certified. And at the same time, so many of our friends were asking us about budgeting and personal finance. We were like, and then we also saw blogs that were making crazy money.
Yeah.
And I always had the approach of like, if someone else can do it, I can reverse engineer how they're doing it and do it myself. I always had faith in myself in doing that. So we started the Savvy Couple as well. And then that was kind of the fork in the road of like, do you pick home inspection business or go all in on this online business? And that's kind of when we started.
Were you good with finances? Like, how come your friends were asking about it? Were you guys already like...
we always talked about budgeting and making, selling stuff online through drop shipping and whatnot. We were paying off debt like crazy. So after we started the Savvy Couple, we ended up paying off the last $25,000 of student loan debt in 5 months.
Thank you for giving the full background, because I think that gives the audience context of like the pain that you were really in and what that pain pushed you to do. And I think a lot of people look at pain and they run away from it, but you really used it as fuel. And I was in the same boat in a corporate job that I hated. And that pain of not wanting to go back and sitting in that cubicle was greater than the pain of staying at that job. So I decided to go for it, and similar to you,
100%.
went for it.
Yep, using the pain as fuel. And I think you would relate to this too. Like, you have the option, you either stay miserable and just grind it out, and you look back on your life and you say, man, that was a horrible decision. Or you go take a chance and take some action and fail a couple of times and figure it out as you go. And in the long run, you're going to make it work out. And I'm all for entrepreneurship and small business, and anyone that's got a passion and a will to put in the work, the hard work that it takes, go for it.
100%, man. You had told me you met your wife, Brittany, back in 9th grade. And you said you wanted to tell the proposal story of that. So let's start with that.
Yeah. So met in 9th grade, we were just best friends. We both failed Spanish class. So we actually got put in like an American Sign Language class. Like we had to take it as a requirement. Yeah. So we're both really bad at Spanish. And luckily, we kind of just met each other in that class, started flirting, sending notes to each other. Asked her the 9th grade formal. And then after that, I was like, hey, I want to date you. Like you're all about it. So we started dating and dated all through high school. And then our sophomore year going into junior year, my family and I went on a cruise in Alaska, and Brittany was able to come. So we went on the cruise, and the whole time I had an engagement ring ready to go because I knew she was the one, and we've been dating for so long and wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. I was going to do it on stage. She's a huge introvert, and she would have killed me if I did that. So luckily I like talked to my parents ahead of time. I'm like, what can we do to make this really special? And they're like, definitely don't do that. So my dad's like, well, we're going ziplining. What if you like asked her 70 feet in the air? I was like, that's freaking awesome.
Wow.
That's amazing. So put my ring in my back pocket, and the whole time I was freaking out. Like
I was going to say, how like nervous were you?
Very nervous. And there was other families like in the way of like making it happen. But anyways, on the last one, the timing was perfect. We were up is the very longest zip line. We were 70 feet in the air, and I got all attached. I said, wait 1 second, to the person that was going to sling me down. And I pull it out, or I didn't pull it out. I turned around and I said, and my whole family was standing up on the platform with her. I'm like, hey, Brittany, will you marry me? And then I jumped off. So she was stuck there with my family after I just asked her to marry me, and I was just zipping down the zip line. And then on the other platform, I was on my knee with the ring when she came down.
Dude, what a way to do it, man. Yeah. I love that.
It was sweet.
She was probably like, this dude's crazy.
Yeah. And then the best part of it is we used our story to win her bridal dress for free. So they got,
oh, really?
Yeah, we went in like a competition. And
like best proposal or something?
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Way to do it. Way to do it. Yep. I had not quite of a crazy story as that, but my wife and I had bought our current house we're living in, and we had all the family there to take like the cliche just sold picture in front of the house. Yep. Like that's what she thought we were doing. We took the picture, but then right after we took the picture, I had the ring in my pocket, and I went down on one knee, and we kind of got a 2-for-1 there.
Yeah,
so
nice.
You got to find a way to do something creative, because the bar is set high these days for proposals, for sure. Let's get into business here, though. Sure. So first question I have is, like, you were telling me a little before we started recording, but can you give us a rundown on like what the income streams look like for your guys' current business right now? Yeah.
So this is like a topic that's really hard for family and friends to like even ask us about, because it's so like, you make money with a blog. How does that work?
Right.
So I kind of break it down as it's marketing and sales. That's all it is. Like our blog posts are a piece of marketing content that we try to get traffic to. And then within the content, we help solve a problem. So if someone's looking for side hustle ideas, we have 50 side hustle ideas that you could try. And then inside those side hustle ideas, there's links to courses or affiliates that can help you start that side hustle and make the income online. So we'll earn a commission off of that.
Yep.
So that's a huge portion is affiliate marketing. And then there's display ads. So when you're scrolling on a website and there's those ads that probably annoy the crap out of you, we'll get income from that. And then there's sponsorships. So if there's a brand that we're really passionate about and we use ourselves, like Rocket Money or an Empower app, we'll partner with them. They'll give us like a flat fee to work with us to make, either YouTube content or blog posts, social media, and kind of put a package together. And then last but not least, there's your own products and services. So with my wife's brand, The Savvy Mama, we have a whole bundle of products that we call the Chaos to Control bundle, and it's helping moms control the chaos in their life. And it's planning debt payoff, budgeting, productivity, cleaning, and meal prep. And then we sell that. And then on the back end of that, there's also a membership that she runs on Facebook and into just other printables and meal prep stuff.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
So it's super diversified, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. What is like the biggest chunk of revenue? Like which one of those?
So last year it would have been affiliate marketing by far. Google kind of changed the algorithm and we took a pretty significant hit in traffic. So I'd say our biggest now is definitely Brittany's membership and selling her own digital products.
Nice.
Yep.
So let's, for the audience, kind of bring some value to them. Let's say a young entrepreneur watching, similar to in your shoes, they want to get started with online business. If you were to start from like ground zero today, what would you focus on first to kind of get the ball rolling with online business?
Yeah. And a great question. I think anyone can start an online business because everyone has passions. They have their own experience and they have their own education. Like those three things are not the same for one individual to the next. So for us, it was simple. We loved personal finance. We loved making money online. So that's like our niche is personal finance. So someone could be fitness, someone could be, crochet, whatever it is, like your passion. And then I actually like just did this again I forget what it's called, three Venn diagram, and you do what you're good at, what you can make money with. And then the last one is what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And then if you kind of fill all those out, the center circle is your niche that you should be creating content for.
Love that.
So then from there, it's affiliate marketing, I think. So it's starting to create content within that niche. Find out, I'm obsessed with AI. Like ChatGPT, go on to ChatGPT and like talk to it like you're talking to a person. Say, hey, I'm starting an online business. It's in the fitness industry. I think my avatar is 25 to 35-year-olds that just had kids and they don't really have time to work out. And I need to put together a quick workout routine for them to like stay healthy. It's going to spit you out content ideas. And then it's figuring out, do you want to, are you good at writing? Are you good at on camera? Do you want to do a podcast? And then like, I'd say usually it's going to be, your phone and just recording yourself. There's no easier barrier to entry than that. So it's just starting to throw content out. And I call it the shotgun method. Like just start pumping out content, different types and see what works, see what sticks. And then just keep doing the same thing that over and over and double down on what's working.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah. It's, there's so many ways to do it too. And to your point, like if you're good at writing, go like maybe the blog route. If you do like being on camera, maybe content like that is your thing. Or if you want to just do voice podcasts, you can do that way. I think there's so many forms of content, and just picking one maybe to start with and try to master it is the way to go. Before trying to do a million different things, I think it's best to focus on one and get it going.
Yep. And like with TikTok and Instagram and just short form content, like I said, it's so easy to pull your phone out and like talk about something. And I just heard another person talk about this, like today's society with content creators, it's almost like you can play the lottery, like with your phone. Like just start building content and you never know when that one video hits and it changes your life forever. Like a horrible example is Hawk 2 Girl, but do you know her?
No.
All right. It's an inappropriate joke and she got like mega famous. But like you're just one video away from really just taking off and then you can double down on that audience that you built.
It's so true.
Yeah. You kind of build the audience on what you're passionate about. And that's so important is to find something that you love to do.
Yes.
Like, and that you would be willing to do it for free. Cause in the beginning, you're going to do it for free. You're not going to make any money from it. But then once you get that audience, then you can learn from them, solve their problems, give them affiliate links that they can purchase. You can, make display ad income. You can create your own product, your own membership.
So many ways to monetize.
Yep.
Yeah. So my brother, shout out to you, Quinn. He just started a YouTube channel, just like a basketball channel, doing trick shots and stuff. Bro, he grew from like 0 subscribers to 100,000 subscribers in the past like month.
It's insane.
And it's because he was saying like YouTube Shorts is just like broken right now. And he hit the algorithm in a couple of it, and they're very low production, like not good video.
Yep.
Like they're good videos, but they got like millions of views each. And then all of a sudden he's just flooded with subscribers. So now he's planning out like long form content. And I told him, I'm like, you should hook up with Kelan because I'm sure he could give you some YouTube tips on how to like monetize. He's making a headband now that he's going to sell to his subscribers. But to your point, like all it takes is a couple pieces of content to go viral. All of a sudden you have an audience. It's crazy.
You just kind of build your business off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we started, we were kind of like writing out blog posts ourselves, and we were still working full time. And it was kind of just like trying to figure out what the audience wants. And then once they gave us feedback and we actually like started to build an audience and people were coming back and leaving comments, that's when you kind of just double down and continue to make it work.
And it's just like a normal business, like testing your market, like listening to your customer and iterating your products to make it better for them. So right 100%. On. Let's talk a little bit about YouTube, because you guys have been able to grow a channel to 20,000 subscribers. What have you learned? Any tips you want to give our audience who are starting a YouTube channel?
Yeah. I think first and foremost is it's not, everyone says like, is it too late? Is it too saturated?
Yeah, right.
The answer is no. Like there's always going to be a piece of pie that you can get out of the millions and billions of people watching videos every day. And then from there, it's like figuring out, again, use ChatGPT. Like it's the best assistant in branding, marketing thing. Like it's amazing. It blows my mind. Cause we started 8 years ago when there was none of that. I was writing the blog post.
Yeah.
And now you can give it a prompt and it writes it for you.
Does it write the whole blog post for you? That's amazing.
You still have to do like, our team still does editing and all that stuff. But I mean, 80% of the work is done.
Wild.
So you can get a whole business plan from ChatGPT. You can get a brand, like you can figure out what your pillar videos are going to be. And then just start to make that content. But I think too, like YouTube is a search engine as well as like a discovery platform. So for us, especially in the personal finance niche, like we know there's certain keywords and topics that we want to rank for. So it's kind of 80% of our content is going to be SEO, search engine optimized, to rank in Google or to rank in YouTube. So if someone types in side hustle ideas or empower review, rocket money review, like we're ranking the top 3, and it's going to continue to build traffic and revenue for us. And then, so that's like your base of your business. And then you try the stuff that's kind of like social viral, where it's like, or it's more just like viral attempts. Like we did a short on real everyday millionaire stuff where me and Brittany went back and forth in the real world of like, yeah, of course I'm a millionaire. I still shop at a discount store, stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's kind of like your viral attempt to grow your audience to get into your long form. And then you have like your home run shots where, for example, the mortgage rates just dropped. So making a short specifically for mortgage rates dropping and being like super timely, like within a couple of days or a day or two, and just trying to catch the algorithm at the right time.
Got it. Yep.
But I kind of look at it as like a pyramid. It's like the base is SEO content, then you're viral, then you're kind of timely viral.
It's a good strategy. Yeah. What does your long form content strategy look like? Like what kind of videos are you guys making? How frequently are you putting them out? Like what does that look like?
Yeah. So we try to do weekly videos, and then we try to do at least 2 to 3 shorts per week. And we have them scheduled out kind of at least 2 months in advance. So we'll kind of record 2 or 3 long form videos a week to try to get ahead. But yeah, it's just stuff that our audience, I know that they want. It's the problems that they have. And it's kind of also learning. Another big tip is like learn from the people that are already successful.
Yeah.
There's YouTube channels, Graham Stephan, Mark Tilbury, Erica Kohlberg, like huge channels, millions of followers, millions of subscribers, and they have the proven formula. That's like an easy mentor right there. Go on their channel and digest their stuff.
Yes.
Reverse engineer. What titles are they using? What thumbnails are they using? How long is their content? What do their descriptions look like? How are they unpackaging and how are they packaging the content together? There's the solution.
It's so true. And I've struggled with it because I'm always of the mindset I don't want to copy people, but you're right. There's a blueprint and there's a reason that people are doing what they're doing. Yep. So I think the key is to, like you said, digest that content and then put your own twist on it,
Yep.
right?
Yep, absolutely.
Because you don't want to just straight up copy someone, but again, you want to use what's already working and ride that wave almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you actually keep yourself consistent with content? Because I feel like that's a real struggle with people who they might get excited about making content and they're good for the first month, first couple of months, but then they start to fall off. Like, what tactical things do you do to make sure those 3 shorts, that 1 long form, that's all getting done consistently every single week?
Yep. Number 1, again, passion. We know that we love helping people with personal finance because it can have such an impact on their life. And that kind of brings me back to the why. I think it's the same why that you have of like, I want to help just one person leave their 9 to 5 and never have to look back again and reach financial freedom. And then systems, like create systems within your business. Systems help you scale. So we use Asana. We have a team with an editor and a script writer. So it's basically helping hire people that are going to help you make and optimize the system on content creation. So I can literally sit down, hit record, read a script, and then the video's done.
And how long were you doing it before you had a team to help you?
When we first started the blog, we probably went 2 full years without hiring a VA. Then the VA was our first kind of hire, and it was like figuring out which tasks that we can outsource to them. And I actually have a good system with that if you want to hear it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I read the book Work Less, Make More. And he has this task that you get a pad of paper or a pad of Post-it notes, and for a week long or almost 2 weeks, you write down every single task you do in the business. So at the end of the 2 weeks, you have a stack like this. And then you take those and on a whiteboard or just a white wall, you kind of break it into 4 quadrants, and it's the Eisenhower chart. So there's do, delegate, important, not important. And you put them into those categories. And then the ones that are like delete, don't do, and they're not important, get them off, stop doing them. You're wasting your time, like checking analytics every day, all like stuff that doesn't move the needle in the business. And then the stuff that is important, but you can delegate it, that's the first stuff that you should outsource and find someone to do for you. So it's a really good way to visualize, this is my genius zone. This is what I need to really focus my time on. And this is the stuff I need to find help with.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful thing.
That's
We've
huge.
actually done it in our business too. And just listing out those tasks is going to bring so much clarity of like all this in your head and getting it down onto paper or whiteboard, whatever, so that you can start to pass this off one at a time too. I think people can get overwhelmed because there's so much stuff. It's like, just start with like one thing and then, okay, I'm doing this. Someone could probably do this. I'll pass this off. And before you know it, you pass enough stuff off. Now you're just focusing on, like you said, your genius, the stuff that really moves the needle, revenue generating activities. Totally. And that's just business right there, building a business.
So yeah, passion, creating a system on things. And then anytime I find myself like kind of slacking and I'm not motivated and I'm just feeling not inspired, I have like a folder on Google Drive that has really special comments or emails or Post-it notes that subscribers have sent us that have like proven that we're making an impact, especially with the online business. It's like really hard to have this connection in real life. So I go back and get inspired, like, hey, I just left my 9 to 5. I'm going for it. And it's like, let's freaking go.
That fires me up.
So that's like my win folder. And I probably only go in it like once every quarter or so on a day that I'm like, I don't even feel like working today.
Dude, that's
like,
a great idea.
People need you. Like, let's go.
Yeah, people are actually depending on you and like you're changing real lives. And yeah, to your point, it's like you can't make that connection because they're just little like bubble avatars on the internet. Yeah. It's like, but these are real people. Yep. And I think to that point, if you're a smaller creator, I think people don't understand, they underestimate the scale of subscribers and followers. Like for example, I have a YouTube channel just started, but I have like 450 subscribers, which, you know, in the world of YouTube isn't a lot, but if you think about 450 people in a room together, I always think of that. That's like a whole auditorium of people having that mentality of, I just want to impact, like you said, if I can change one person's life, and you're going to change a lot more than one person's life, that is so much drive and so much passion. So I love that.
I love that visualization of like seeing 450 people in a room.
Imagine 20,000, man.
Yeah. Plus when you're like starting out, those subscribers are like, those are your people. Where when you grow, you get like subscribers that are like fly by the night people that like saw a video once and subscribe, or they're just going through and hitting subscribe for some reason. But yeah, like as you grow, your audience gets a little more spread out. Whereas when you're first starting, like those are your freaking
That's
people.
your tribe.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Love that. Have you heard of the, I think it's a Tim Ferriss thing. Do you know Tim Ferriss?
4 hour work week, right?
What's that?
4 hour work week.
Oh yeah. He had this thing, I think it's called like 1,000 True Fans.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like if you can, and just 1,000 followers, like diehard followers of you, if you can sell them something for just like $100, that's a $100,000 business right there.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't take a lot of subscribers to make a significant income online. In the VA part too, we have a couple of VAs in our business and they are life changing. There are very smart people that you can get at a low wage, and it's a good wage for them, but they take so much off of our plate in terms of little admin tasks, video editing, all these little things that doesn't really help move the needle, but needs to get done in order to move the needle.
Yep.
VAs are amazing. Where did you guys find your VA?
Yeah. So we've always hired from within the US. I know you can like hire from the Philippines. They're like $5 an hour, which I mean, for some businesses, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to like hire within the US. So we actually hire always from within our audience. So
Got it.
we have an
Okay.
email list. Our YouTube channel, our Facebook pages will basically create a application and a job posting, and then we'll send it out to people that already know and like us. And it's exciting for them to like join the team because they've been following us. So it's always worked out really well. And that's how we've always hired
That's
everyone.
amazing. So you got a stateside virtual assistants then.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Do you plan on hiring more in the near future? Or?
Yeah. So right now we have our editor. We have an editor for video, an editor for our blog posts, and then we have virtual assistant and writer, kind of like a tech wizard guy, and then me and my wife, and I'm missing one person. And then we have another VA that does kind of Pinterest marketing and writing as well.
And that's crazy.
So it's a small team.
That small of a team is a 7-figure business right there.
Yeah.
That's so inspiring to hear that.
For sure. I forget what the saying is. I think it's keep it small, keep it all. Yeah. Keep it small, keep it all.
Love that.
Not like keep all the money to ourselves, but like we had no reason to go big corporate and like hire full-time employees and just have that headache.
I am the same mindset.
I want to keep it family oriented.
Yep. I want a small, tight-knit team.
Yep.
We have a team of 7 now. And, there's no reason to hire more people just to say like you have more people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you don't need a large business. And the other saying that I like is revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. I think is how it goes. Like just focus on what you're actually profiting and like don't worry about big numbers because it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and back to virtual assistant, they take the tasks that I think they're time savers because they are time savers, but they're also energy savers because they're taking off the tasks that, checking email, sorting email, answering customer service, refunds, whatever they may be. Like that's such a time suck and more importantly, an energy suck from the owner and the CEO and the content creator. So it's like figure out the stuff that's sucking the life out of you and you hate doing and hand it off. 100%. And then you can really focus on the stuff that you're excited about.
Love it, man. Financial freedom, I think, is something that means different things to different people.
Yep.
What does true financial freedom mean to you and what does it look like in your life?
To me, it's having enough cash flow each month that we have to work very little to make. And I think retirement's really stupid, to be honest.
Too.
I love finding what we love to do and I want to do it the rest of my life. So it's having enough cash flow to pay for our monthly bills and not have us feel like we're pinching pennies. So that's kind of financial freedom to us. So we really wanted to create an online business that had tons of cash flow that we can kind of live the life that we want to live. And it doesn't take up a lot of time and energy. We probably average 20 hours a week. Yeah. Maybe my wife's even less than that because she's kind of taking care of the girls. But so low hourly kind of impact to kind of keep the business going and have the cash flow. And then a lot of people's definition of it is having enough invested in the market that you can pull 4% out a year.
Right.
It's going to earn 8. So you're going to keep it stagnant. So if you have 1.5 million, I think it comes out to like 60,000 a year or something like that. So that's a good definition as well.
Yeah.
Originally our goal was to reach FI, financial independence, by 35. And technically we've reached it when we were 30 because we have enough cash flow coming in and then some to invest in real estate and in our stock market and have money coming into the business. And
I think I agree with you on the point about retirement. And I think, financial freedom in retirement isn't just doing nothing for the rest of your life because I think human beings are wired in a way that we got to work, man. We got to work on something. And I think finding that passion and what you truly love doing and doesn't feel like work, like that is financial freedom. It's not being so rich and being out on yachts and stuff, like that's all great and fine, but like having your expenses covered and being able to do what you want with the time that you have on this earth.
Yep.
That's what I'm after.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of made the shift of wanting financial freedom of the money, of more of the time. Like the time is our most valuable asset.
Me too, man.
It's one that you can't get back. You can always make more money. And that's a mindset we have as well. But like time is by far the most important thing. And the money is just the tool to help you reach there.
Yes. You're preaching, man. And people associate money being evil too much when money is the tool. Like if our society was run by gummy bears, that was our currency, then that would be what you have to get to get like it. Money is just the thing that allows you to buy back your time and freedom. In the early years of education, like money should be the thing that is pounded into kids' brains at an early age, because that's what they need to live on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think we're big, conspiracy theory. We think that school is like almost a scam.
Are you guys homeschooling?
It's definitely on the table. We're not yet. Our oldest is in first grade this year, but it's definitely something we've talked about a ton, and we're still kind of contemplating. But yeah, we were never taught, unless you had parents teach you or college professors and someone or a friend or family to go out of their way. Like you're not taught anything about personal finance.
None.
And if you are, it's like stupid things like how to balance a checkbook that no one does anymore. And it really needs to be changed, in my opinion. And that's kind of part of the thing we do on the Savvy Couple YouTube channel, is like we want to teach the things that they don't teach in school, to kind of help you fast track your financial freedom.
Yeah, you guys are doing amazing stuff. And I think the reason I resonate with it so much is because what I'm trying to do with the show as well, like being a different outlet than traditional education that kids can come to learn about entrepreneurship, learn about business, learn about personal finance.
Yep.
Because the things that they're learning in school, I don't like to shit on school too much, but like there needs to be a change of something. Yep. Because it's just not the time allocation. Like we can still learn like basic, like reading, writing, arithmetic, like very important stuff, but there needs to be a chunk of that is just personal finance, money, like life, relationships, all that
the
stuff.
Important stuff. Yep.
Everything you guys are doing I just commend you on it. So
appreciate that.
How do you cultivate a strong mindset as an entrepreneur? Like, how do you keep your mind sharp? Because entrepreneurship is up and down, up and down. Like, what do you do to ground yourself, habits, routines, like to really be most effective?
Yeah, I definitely think habits and routines are huge. So I try to work out every day. And that's kind of like my stress relief of like get in the gym and just freaking pump some iron and get the stress out. And then, routines, like figure out which routines you want to make. If it's waking up early, eating healthy, reading, miracle morning, whatever it is, like figure out a way to make those habits and you become a machine with those things. And then the bad habits, and obviously, like you said, entrepreneurship's up and down. And when Google made a huge hit on our blog and we lost a lot of traffic from it, it was like devastating because it had a direct correlation on income and profit and revenue. So it was like making sure that didn't impact and turn into bad habits. And it's continuing to like get up and do the right thing and just be disciplined. It really comes down to discipline. Mm-hmm. And then having an awesome wife that is super supportive when I'm kind of going through the downs and the ups of entrepreneurship. She's a blessing for sure.
Absolutely. The partner is so important. And I've talked with other guests about it, like having the right partner, and they don't have to be like, you're kind of lucky. Like you both are entrepreneurs, have that same mindset. My wife is the opposite, which is still nice because I'm out here like shooting for the stars, and she's stable occupational therapist, healthcare for us, which is very important. Like, but she supports me 100% in everything I'm doing. And I think if you're trying to do things outside of the box as an entrepreneur, like if you have a spouse or a significant other that isn't like fully invested in you and just doesn't see the vision, it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it makes it a lot easier when your partner is
especially at the beginning phases when you're just starting out. If they're like questioning and whatnot, that's going to make it so much harder to like really break through that wall.
Because you start questioning when they do. Yeah.
And when we first started the blog, we were 9 months in, and we first made our $50. We first made our money, and it was $50. $50, and it was life changing. Like I think I cried the day that it hit our bank account. I was like, "Holy crap!
Like
we're
this
doing
is real."
it. Yeah. And 2 weeks later, I went to Brittany. I'm like, "Hey, can I quit my job and do this full time?" and it was $50. And she said, yes, you can.
Go for
so
it.
like we had our finances in order and all that stuff, but she was like all in on making it happen and totally trusted that I would. And she was sick of me complaining about 9-to-5s and being depressed. So she kind of blessed me to go for it. And it was so awesome to have that support at home and to like be like, do it, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Brittany. You're awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
What is, if you're comfortable sharing, like what is the trajectory, has it looked like for you guys, like year 1, year 2, year 3? Like what does income look like, to give people an idea of like how long it takes to really get things going?
Yeah. So the good thing about, and you mentioned revenue, vanity, sanity. The good thing about online business is it's like super profitable. Like I think our best year, I'll start from the beginning. So first year we made, this is when I made my first $50, and then I started to freelance a little bit. So probably like 15,000 possibly after I went all in. Next year was about 52,000. The following year was 250,000.
Wow.
And that was the year that Brittany joined me full time. We kind of had a game plan of like, if I can make 10K a month for 6 months, that's kind of like a sign that yes, we can support you and you can join full time. So that happened. Then she joined me, and then we went to 500,000, I think. And then we hovered around there. And then last year, which would have been our 7th year, we did 1.3 million.
That's crazy.
And about 50% profit there. So it's an absolutely insane year. And this year we're projected to do over 7 figures again.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like this, grind it out, and then it's hockey stick growth.
It's the exponential, right?
Exponential growth.
What everyone
Compound
says.
effect.
Yes. And you have to be okay with putting in effort, not seeing result. And then all of a sudden is when you get that growth.
100%.
And it's just getting through that like death zone of like, am I really making progress here? You have to have the mentality that you just have to keep going.
Yeah. And I think it's good to have a mindset too of like, you're going to fail. You're going to suck at the beginning. You're going to make mistakes, and it's okay to question yourself, but you can't lose that hope and faith that, and like confidence that, yes, I can make this happen. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose money. I'm going to, have to fire someone, whatever it may be. But if you keep that faith and you keep putting in the hard work and you keep learning from your mistakes and you keep pivoting, that's when the exponential growth takes off.
Right on, man. What do you like to do for fun outside of business?
Yeah. I play sports twice a week. So I play volleyball, floor hockey, basketball. I have my high school friends are still real close buddies of mine. So we go on a ski trip every year. So I love to ski, love to get out on the mountain. Tons of family time. That's what I'm all about. And that's kind of that was the motivation when I was stuck at the jail as a jail deputy, to like quit and really create a life that we have unlimited hours with our girls, like almost too much, to be honest. But it's such a blessing to have that freedom to spend so much time together, especially before school started, and why we want to kind of homeschool possibly, of like middle of the week, let's go to an amusement park and no one's there. It's literally ours for the taking.
Yep.
So yeah, lots of family time. I love the Steelers, big sports fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple man. Love it. You guys like to travel?
Yeah. We have a camper, so we do like 4 or 5 trips a year. We go up to Adirondacks for 2 weeks.
Nice.
And yeah, we like to travel, go to Florida. We're going on a cruise that the girls don't know about. We'll probably let them know the night before because they can't handle anticipation. But we're going on a cruise to the Bahamas next month. And then Brittany and I are going to a conference called Funnel Hacker Live in Vegas. So that's going to be fun, just me and her. But yeah, we try to plan at least one family vacation every quarter, so that every 3 months we kind of put in the work and then we go celebrate as a family.
Love that. Yeah.
Yep.
I've noticed that too. Like you have to put little celebrations, like celebrate your wins often, right? Because if you're just working and having the mentality of, okay, down the road, I'll celebrate like years, and it just keeps kicking like farther and farther.
Yep.
You have to enjoy the climb.
Yeah.
Like you have to you're climbing up the mountain, like enjoy the view, like every so often.
Totally.
And I've learned, like for my wife and I, like, let's put trips on the calendar so that they're in there and we're dedicated to them, because otherwise life's going to go by and we're not going to do anything.
Yep.
So like, yes, I'm always a proponent of hard work. Like you have to work hard, but at the same time, enjoy life, because we're only here for a short period of time.
You're working hard for a reason. And you want to go celebrate those for sure.
Yep.
Once you reach, by the way, subscribe. Once you reach 500 subscribers, you got to celebrate. Like that's a big milestone.
Okay,
and then once you get to 1,000, like keep celebrating the milestones for sure.
Yeah. What do goals for the future look like for you? over the next couple of years? Like, where do you want your brand to go? Is there a subscriber account you want to hit? Like, what does it look like for you guys?
Yeah. So we have a goal, and we've kind of pivoted back. When we first originally started the Savvy Couple, we were about like creating content, being on social media. And then we found so much not luck, but so much success in SEO and ranking stuff on Google. We kind of pivoted to just doing that. It was way better ROI. Like, let's create content that's evergreen, making us money every single month versus content creation. You got to grind.
Yeah.
For the most part. So now that we're pivoting back to that, we have a goal of reaching 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. I just really want a plaque, to be honest. And then, so the Savvy Couple, 100,000 subscribers. The Savvy Mama, we have about 1,500 members in her Savvy Mama membership. So we'd like to get that to like 5,000 by the end of next year.
Nice.
So that's that business. And then the real estate business, we started this year and we closed on our 4th long-term rental. And I'd love to get one more by the end of the year. And then next year, probably double up again. And then long-term with that, me and my partner, Phil, shout out Phil, we want to start a syndication. So kind of looking at really big apartment complexes or condos or just vacation areas and kind of finding the deal, getting other investors to invest with us and helping other people kind of reach financial freedom.
Love that.
Yeah.
And actually, I want to go back a little bit and talk about real estate before we end here, because that's a big part. And it's something that got me into entrepreneurship. I bought a duplex, I house hacked and covered my mortgage. That was my yeah. I mean, I recommend it to every single young person. Like, even if you don't plan on being a real estate investor, like, cover your costs and buy an asset. And I still own that today. It cash flows $1,000 a month for me. My original path, I was going to buy a bunch of rentals and then, and I was starting to buy, but now I'm so focused on building this. And this is my greatest investment is making this cash flow 100%. As big as I can. And then like you, I want to get into bigger apartment deals. I know a lot of commercial investors in the area who I can see myself like partnering on bigger deals with them. But talk about what you've learned so far investing in the deals that you have, and any tips for people who want to invest in real estate, like where they should start and what things they should avoid. Anything you got?
Yeah. So we just started getting interested in real estate this year. And I heard a stat that's like 90% of millionaires are made through real estate or have real estate. And it's something we've always wanted to diversify away from, because online business, you know, an algorithm can change and you lose some income. So let's diversify. So my biggest thing is find a partner. And that's kind of what we did. And that was the approach we had, just like you. Like, our biggest ROI and our time and our effort is growing our online businesses. And we want to use real estate as a way to continue to build our wealth passively. So we found a partner, never burn your bridges. We went to the academy together and we kind of drifted apart after I left, and then he left. And I kind of inspired him to become a real estate agent and do his own thing.
Nice.
So then kind of reconnected that relationship. We went to a conference together, and we just kept like saying like, how do we partner? How do we partner? There's got to be like a merge where everyone's needs are met. And we kind of developed the partnership, started the LLC together, and it's kind of taken off where he's the managing partner. We're kind of the capital investment, and we kind of work together, find the deals, kind of work through the numbers on what makes sense for us and him, and then purchase the properties. But as far as learning about real estate, have you followed Ben Mala on YouTube?
I know of him. I don't. I know Graham Stephan did a video with him back then.
Big Italian dude. And he lives in Florida. He's got like $250 million worth of real estate.
Big real estate guy.
His channel's awesome. Like, it's a day in a life of him walking around and finding deals and going through them. Like, YouTube is such a good education.
Huge.
For anything, online business, whatever it is, like, go to YouTube and learn.
Yeah.
And then eventually you got to take action, take that leap of faith. Yeah. Like, one of my big things is action over perfection. And just eventually you're gonna have to buy the property and get started and not be afraid, and you're gonna make mistakes. And, but real estate's kind of nerve wracking because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of stuff you could lose. That's why we wanted to kind of get a partner so to minimize the risk. Yeah.
And I can relate to that. I remember, 5 years ago now when I bought that first duplex, man, I was shaking in my boots after closing. Like, what do I do now? And I can tell you that I was very, very, very scared, and now I'm not, and that's okay. I'm like, you get over it. You learn how to manage it. As long as you continue to educate yourself, that's the biggest thing. Like, stay up to date on things and always be educating. Real estate really isn't that hard.
If you break it down, it's very simple. You just got to make sure the numbers make sense.
Yes.
And once you do that, it's like you're literally buying an asset, a property, and you're going to rent it out.
Yep.
And this is what's going to cash flow. There's going to be maintenance. There's going to be some legal documents that you got to sign. Was that your first closing? Like buying a house? Yeah. So like after that, your hand probably hurt from signing papers. And you're like, I don't know what I just signed.
So many.
They were
signed my first kid away.
Yeah, I have no idea, but that's real estate. Yeah. And like you live and you learn, and it's just got to come down to the deal. The money in the deal happens at the beginning. It happens in the purchase. So you have to find good deals.
You make money when you buy.
You make money when you buy.
Yep. The way I did it, just to give some people some background and tips, I got what's called an FHA loan, 3.5% down. It allowed me to, and the reason I was able to get such a low down payment loan is because I was occupying the property, right? Because if you buy a standard investment property, get a loan on it, typically most lenders are at 20% you got to put down. So the reason it's called house hacking is because you can hack the financing, put so little into it, as long as the numbers work, right? And you can live in that property, I think, for at least a year is the rule. I lived there for a couple of years, moved out. Now both of the units are rented, and like I said, it's cash flowing nice for me. So start there. Start with something you can live in, even if it's not a duplex. Buy a fixer-upper, something that needs some work. That's what my wife and I did with our current house. We bought it at a pretty good deal, put a lot of work into it, sweat equity, and now it's worth a lot more, so that when we go to move, we'll either rent it out or sell it and get the profit on the back end. Use real estate as a tool in the beginning. And like I said, you don't have to be some big real estate investor, but throwing money away on rent is just, I don't understand it. It doesn't click with me. Like, if you can build equity in an asset, own the property, and build your net worth, essentially, like 100%. Why not do it? Yeah.
You definitely did the right way of like putting as little down as you can, house hacking so someone else is helping pay the mortgage, keeping your expenses as low as possible overall, so that you can actually pursue what you want to do and build your wealth.
And when you're running the numbers too, like you said, there's basically, you got your mortgage, taxes, insurance, everything. But most people do like rent minus your mortgage payment. They think that's your cash flow, but it's not, because you got to account for reserves, right? Maintenance, capital expenditures, when the roof, you need a new roof, new hot water tank, like all that. Vacancy for future, when like there's months where you got turnover on the unit. So I always say like 15%-ish is a good estimate of the rent. So you take your rent minus your mortgage, minus your 15% reserves, that's your cash flow right there. And if the numbers make sense, easy to do on an Excel spreadsheet, like pull the trigger on the deal. Yeah.
And one more thing on real estate is like, a lot of people think you have to have the money up front. And I know so many people just going to the conference, I've gone to it twice now. It's called Rubicon Real Estate Wealth Builder Conference. Like, so many people get into deals and get their properties without putting any money down. They find private money lenders. They have a partner that has the capital income or capital investment, and they do the work. Like, there's so many ways to get into the deal. Where that's amazing for like that type of business, is like you can get so creative on how to get started with it.
A million different ways to do it.
100%.
Because there's wholesaling, there's flipping, there's buy and hold, there's apartment. Like, there's so many ways you can make money in real estate. And I've had quite a few big time real estate investors in our area on the show. So if you are listening and real estate is kind of a path you want to take, just reach out to me and I can connect you with the right person depending on what you want to do. So I just wanted to touch on that, because I was ending here. I'm like, wait, we got to talk about rental properties real quick.
Absolutely.
So, do you have a favorite book?
I got a couple. Okay. Can I give my top three?
Absolutely. Give as many as you want.
Yeah. Number one is Work Less, Make More. It's by James I always butcher his last name. Shakorno. It's a white and blue book. It's like this. I have ADHD and dyslexia, so reading's always been really hard. And it's like this big, and I whip through it, and it's like, read. Holy cow! And the whole premise of it was like tracking your hours. And the only metric that you need to worry about in life is making your effective hourly rate as high as possible. So when I first started like blogging, my effective hourly rate was negative, because I wasn't making any money. I was spending money on software and whatnot. And my goal was like, let me get to $1,000 an hour. And last year I was able to do that. Nice, so it's like, how many hours you basically track your time, and you track your income and your profit, and you make sure that number keeps increasing. Because if you can make more per hour, that means you have to work less to make more. So that's a really good book, really action-packed and easy to read. And then The Millionaire Fast Lane by J.D. DeMarco, I think, very, very good. Kind of about the slow lane in life where most people work the 9 to 5, they're grinding, they're putting a little bit in investments. Then there's the medium lane or the fast lane. Yeah, and then it jumps to the fast lane of like entrepreneurship. Business is the only way to really scale your income. And it's the only system that you can actually dictate how much you're going to earn versus the 9 to 5, you'll never get paid what you're worth.
Capped, yeah.
And you're capped at what you can earn. So that's a really life-changing book. And then there's one other one I can't remember now.
Are you a big Audible guy? Or do you physically read them? Or
if it's a book that I'm finding a lot of value from, like I start on Audible, and if it's like, wow, this is like
I need
sweet,
to study it.
Then I go back and like really read.
Yeah.
All of Alex Hormozy books are really good. Yeah. I can't remember the third one, but those two are really, those were life changing.
Those are really good ones. Parting piece of wisdom for that young entrepreneur watching, listening right now. Maybe it's from your audience if they're listening. Like, what do you want to tell that person as they start their journey, or if they're in their journey? Like, what is that piece of advice that you want to leave our audience with today?
If you can believe it, you can achieve it. And the only reason that we've been so successful that we have and that the business took off is because I wholeheartedly, without a doubt in my mind, believe that we were going to make it happen. And I think when you have that belief, your actions and your routines and the stuff that you do kind of aligns with your belief. And that's when you're going to put in the hard work, and it's going to take a lot of time, and you got to be persistent and stay patient. But that's when you're going to get the breakthrough and see the success when starting your business.
Amen, man.
Yeah.
Kelan, thank you so much for being here, man. This has been a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll be connecting further after this because you're the type of energy I want to be around.
Love
and
it. Same.
I can feel it. Where can people connect with you? Let's plug all your social platforms.
We're at The Savvy Couple on all social media platforms. It's SAVVY. A lot of people do it with one V. But yeah, we're mostly on YouTube, and that's the channel we're growing. So if you guys want to go and subscribe to that and check it out, we have lots of videos on making money online, personal finance, financial freedom. We're happy to be part of your journey.
Awesome. Love it, man.
Yeah.
And then you said you wanted to plug your free money money online.
We have a Make Money Online starter guide. You guys can go download from our website, and it's kind of helping you walk step by step to make your first $1,000 online.
Beautiful. Guys, go follow The Savvy Couple. They are doing big things. These are the type of people who I truly see bring the most value to the world and society, because you can be successful and build a great business and live a great life, but the ones who are truly special are the ones who do it, and then they help people do it for themselves as well. So that's something I'm trying to do. Kelan and his wife are doing it. And the more people that we have doing that, the better world we're going to have. And the more people we can get out of the 9 to 5 hamster wheel grind of the world that we're living in to true financial freedom, doing what they love every day. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what the show is for, and that's what I'm so passionate about. So I appreciate you guys so much for listening and tuning in every week. It means the world to me. Please share this with any fellow entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur who wants more out of life. And that's all I got, guys. Kelan, thank you again for being here today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace out. Take care.